Nigerians spent $11.6 billion on foreign education in the last 3 years, despite the dwindling economic state of the nation. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I am Zainab Ubitin and you are on to Issues in Society, a program that discusses trending issues as it affects our day-to-day living. A good education is a backbone of a strong society. This morning we shall be looking at the education system in Nigeria. Joining us on the program is Professor Gylych Jelilov, the Vice Chancellor of Philomath University, one of the fast rising international university domicile in the country. Join us again after the break.
With an ever-evolving society, there are everyday issues in the marketplace, in government, in our social lives, even in our homes. Issues and Society brings these happenings to you. Join us on this station. For sponsorship and advert placement, please call 081 100 00712, or better still, follow us on our social media handles. Well, here at one of the leading and new universities in Nigeria, we have with us on the program the Vice Chancellor of Philomath University here in Abuja, in the person of Professor Gylych. So it's a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you so much.
Philomath University. Give us a brief background about the university.
Okay, Philomath is a law for science. It's just a beautiful Greek name, and from the beginning we have been allowed to start with 10 programs: law, banking, finance, public admin, economics, entrepreneurial studies, biz admin. We have 10: criminology, political science, international relations. So starting with those 10 programs, we have been able to achieve a lot. Precisely in Abuja, I don't think there is any institution that we didn't get in touch in terms of collaboration, future memorandum of understandings. And to be actually frankly, being 6 months here as a Vice Chancellor, I mean, the visibility of the university is a lot, far better than many of our counterparts. I can be proud of saying that we are competing with very old and like solid universities in terms of what we are doing at this point, being a year-old university. Last week we visited NUC, and ES, Executive Secretary, he was commending that what they want from Philomath, to be honest. They are expecting very high standard, first of all. The owner, the founder of the university, myself, the registrar, all of us are like, the team is actually a very dream team. I mean, we are really trying to grow this place and keep the standards, academic excellence in all of the aspects. Of course, it's never easy for the beginning. There is no startups who are starting from just perfect conditions. But I can say that the campus that we are placed on was a school before, so it was just a running school before. That's why it's actually helping us to run university much more easier. It's not just a establishment, new establishment. That's one of the things that we are benefiting. Number two, the environment is extremely nice. So we are trying to grow up, although people might think that is a new area, Kuje is far, this or that, but actually people are driving here counter traffic. It's very fast to achieve here. That's number one. Number two, is very secure. Despite all those rumors that are going about the Kuje prison. Kuje prison is much more far away from here, and we are basically nearby the army checkpoint. I can say that we are the most secure university around in Abuja. Yeah.
Now, you've been in existence for about a year.
Yeah.
You want to tell us how the journey has been so far?
Okay. Well, first of all, we have indicated some schools, top schools that we want to collaborate. The criteria for indicating those schools is basically on merit, like how many students are reaching out 300 and above in JAM. How many of them are making 6 A's and above in YA. So if a school is extremely good, of course, we want to have good students, first of all. The existence of university is not based on the school fees and finance only. The school needs to be known. School needs to be growing faster than its finances. What does it mean? Your alumni, your presence in the society, your graduates hosting the positions of the top in the future. That's what the school is making the university different from another one. So I can bet you there are so many universities around who can give much more better physical conditions than Harvard University. But Harvard is Harvard not just because they are employing the top Nobel winner academicians, but also the students. They are sourcing out every year, I think, from Nigeria, 5 to 10 per department. Like a 200 million Nigeria can produce only 5 to 10 per faculty, Harvard graduates. Or the same for China, 2 billion, 1.8 billion people can produce maximum how many graduates for Harvard. So Harvard, that perception of Harvard, you should understand that it's not only a beautiful conditions. It's staff, conditions, student, network, linkages, all of them at the same time. So we as Philomath University, we are much more aware of that and we are working on that. That's why we have a crazy scholarship scheme. Anyone who have 80% and 300 and above in JAM, we are offering 80% discount. We really want to attract smart students to our school because we know this flag is going to be raised by them. You can't do advertisement of nothing. You should produce something so they will continue to advertise you.
Now, in the sea of universities we have in Nigeria, a whole lot of universities, private, public. What is unique about Philomath University?
Well, yeah, we have 200 plus universities in Nigeria, and it seems like much more is coming. Much more is coming. What is unique? That seriousness of selecting students and staff. We are working on the seamless production process, like delivery process. We are trying to digitalize the process. Trying to make every step removal of each step failures. Whatever it is, we sit down with our team, finding out the problems in each step and trying to remove it and make seamless management process, first of all. The team is mainly a very professional team. 30 years and above in academia. You know, university, how old university does not determine by the building, but determine how old the staff that you are employing there. So I think I have a very good team. I need to commend them. I have a very good team and we are doing a very good job. And all of us have experiences. You know, good things happen in your life is your memories, but bad things that happen in your life are all experiences. So if you ask me in business life which one is more valuable, I guess experiences are more valuable, right? So all of us, one way or another, did a mistakes or see mistakes, the places that we was working before, At this place, we are trying to eliminate all of them.
Now, when you look at the environment and the education sector in Nigeria, presently, somebody who has been around for a while, how would you appraise the education sector in Nigeria?
Well, competition is going to apprise the education itself. First of all, so many schools are coming. I might say so many rich people are also entering this market, but however, the mindset is quite, should be different. Because nobody should enter to the university, higher education sector to earn money. Because university is not the place to make money immediately. Of course, you will make money, but not immediately. So I guess what we are doing is a good examples that we are going to put to the society, and so many people are copying us actually. It's nice to see, to be a small kind of a leader in some aspects. I can say we are very good in PR. I can say we are very good in collaborations. Being like a year-old university, we are extremely good in MOUs and doing things, Nigerian counterparts and foreign counterparts. Like, we are extremely good in that. I don't even think there is any university, except some that I know are very good rooted universities who are good. Because we are small, we are fast. We don't have so much, and we have experience. We know which institution we should collaborate to achieve what. So, in that aspect, if you think about, I believe having a good example, being small, not always a bad thing. Not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's going to bring you very fast mobility.
Now, one of the major challenges in the tertiary institution is the issue of very high school fees. Especially with private universities.
Yeah.
Now, what is the situation here at Philomath?
Well, yeah, this is inevitable challenge for all private universities. However, I think the main problem of private universities is that they are having a very small number of students. That's where they are trying to, charge the full cost on them. While us, we are trying to collaborate with some partners outside to sort out a part of our grants to reduce the cost on the students. That's number one. Number two, I believe as much the number of students will increase, as much collaborations and supports from outside will increase, the school fee will not be a problem at all. For example, here, our school fee is quite average, and we are running a lot of scholarships. If you are smart, if you are not failing your school, the school fee is almost the same with the state school. Like if you have 80% discount, it's just the same with the state government school. It's not much. So how do we do that? Of course, the cost aspect, the grant aspect from outside sourcing. So many aspects we are working on. And so far, so good. We didn't fail anything. And this is our first year, and the system is working. And I hope next year is going to be much more better.
Now, I have discussed with a whole lot of privately owned university VCs and their chancellors. And one of the major challenges they always complain about is, sourcing students, haven't gone through JAM.
Yeah.
Now, how do you guys source for your students, and how do you want to make even, in terms of numbers?
Well, first of all, you should have a good staff. A good staff who speak on his own, that saying professor this is in that university, doctor that in this university. So it helps, first of all. Number two, consistency in your education process. For example, when you have some difficulties with some staff who are not supposed to be here, of course we are not employing, all of them are coming purely high quality staff. So in the process of education, if you see any difficulties with some staff in coming up on time or doing things on good way, let's say it this way. We are just removing them, replacing with the better stuff, and trying to achieve that that solid standard that is actually speaking out. So many problems that you might say in educational sector, we are trying to minimize it up to zero. Of course, wherever people are, the problem will be there, because all of us, I'm an economist, so all of us have our own selfish interests, and whenever we are sitting down in the classroom or working in a company, we actually, all of us have different interests. So, but if you create a system which can contain 3,000 different interests and motivate them towards one dimension, I think we will gain. So at this point, our students are actually motivated to be, because we always tell them that those are pioneers set. If they fail today, tomorrow when they are going to look for the job, they will be looking with the certificate of a failed university. But if they make it today, and everybody was saying, wow, Philomath University students are exceptional because they are reading, their presentation skills, their behavior is nice. If they will make it this year, looking for a job is not going to be an issue. I always promise my students that entering shouldn't be a problem for you. I, as a Vice Chancellor, I will work on that. But staying there is your issue. So from day one as being Vice Chancellor here, I definitely solve that problem. There is no one in Abuja who haven't heard about Philomath University. Billboards, AdWords, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, social media, everywhere. We actually spend a lot of our energy on PR. So whenever one of my students will go to any institution, I say, I'm coming from Philomath University, nobody should even ask him where is it. Everybody should know. So many of our people are actually asking, is it in Nigeria? Because they think it's too good to be true, and they're saying like, wow, it should be somewhere in UK. No, we are in Abuja. Yes.
Are you looking forward to having campuses outside Abuja?
Yeah.
With time.
Okay. Well, this is one of our trade secrets. I shouldn't be mentioning much, but we are going to install 2 new campuses very soon. One of them is in city center. Another one is still on hold. So Philomath is going to have 3 campuses very soon. Let me just help you. We are trying to establish, we already applied for NUC for that. We are opening a new campus in Maitama. Yeah, and a whole faculty of computation and engineering is going to be starting in Maitama. It's an amazing news for us. For the past 2 weeks, it's like just like butterflies in our body, because having NUC just allow to have campuses inside the town very recently actually, and we are going to be one of those who are going to benefit from it newly. So I'm very happy and excited, because all those problems that people can come and tell you, okay, you are in Kuje, you are far, this and that, is nothing like that for Maitama campus, and it's going to be we have a very beautiful building there.
Autism and some of these other biases you have in higher institutions in Nigeria, especially teacher institutions, have been one of the major discuss, as it concerns this set of, educational academic thing. Now, what is the position with, autism, female harassment, and all those vices? What is the situation here at Philomath?
Okay, first of all, we don't tolerate it at all. And of course, as girls became growing higher, like in high school, from the school to the university, and boys who have money, there are so many additional things in the universities rather than in the high schools, first of all. But the place is, first of all, a private university. In private university, people pay. I mean, people have wealth. in private universities. So it's not up to the level that you might be thinking of it. In private universities, we don't have much of a harassment. That's for sure. Because, I mean, they are paying money here. If any of the lecturers is looking for anything bad, they can just skip from University A to University B. It's so simple. So private universities are very much aware of that, and staff is very sensitized on that. For example, in our case, if any of our staff is even greeting a student in not official way, but in a kind of, let's say, polite way, how was your night, this and that, we are punishing that. You can't chat in your private chats, which is your private WhatsApp, this and that, in those kind of manners. Whatever chat you should have, you can have only via our official channels of communication. Email, we are providing you Google Classroom or Meet. Whatever it is, it should be controllable. A lecturer shouldn't be having any private chat with any of our students, being male or female. That's number one. Number two, each case, of course, evaluated very seriously, a case of favorism, a case of tribal disparities, a case of religious bias, this and that. So we are not skipping any of them because we are a small university at this point, and I know as a vice chancellor all of my students, at least by name. So at this point, if you will put a good foundation into that, I believe it will continue in a good way, and I believe we are going to. It's not possible to eliminate 100%, but anybody who dares to do anything like that, he should know that management is very strict on that.
Now, what are some of those challenges facing Philomath? Operational, environment. What are those challenges, and how best do you think these challenges should be addressed?
Okay, like when I came here newly, I was having like sort of questions, sort of challenges that I need to work on. And we actually invited the Kuji chairman. I want to credit him here at this point. I want to tell something that I never tell everyone. He was sitting here, and I addressed him 7 big problems that we have: security, road, water, electricity, so many things, physical challenges that we might have. And he sit down for almost 1.5 to 2 hours, solving each problem one after the other. And it was his first time coming here. We don't know each other anyway. Very efficient man. He called police, DSS, army, civil defense, vigilante, all of them. We actually work on so many things with them. He told me about what's going to be the plan for supplying the water here. He talked about NEPA, how are we going to solve from one line to another. We are having a stable light now. That approach, because we sit down and say, we have problems. And he was just sitting down and calling people related to that. He arranged me for next 2 to 3 days, all institutions that I should go and visit, and I want to thank him publicly. Thank him, thank FCT, because they are the one who made it. At this point, I wouldn't say I have big challenge. Of course, we are a new university with small number of students. When the number of students is going to hit 5,000, 10,000, there will be another challenge. There will be another things to upgrade. But for now, I want to thank that I was able to get what I wanted to.
Now, lastly, to would-be Nigerians and students looking up to, coming to Philomath, so give you 60 seconds. You want to address Nigerians and indeed tell them and market, Philomath to people watching you now.
Okay, Philomath is an international university owned by Nigerian. we have 10 departments. We are going to establish 12 new departments. We are trying to go into robotics, engineering, and computation sciences. What does it mean? Computer science, software engineering, computer engineering. We are going to establish cybersecurity classes, psychology, accounting. So many departments are coming up. So in the first batch, we are establishing 12 new more. In 3 years' time, we are going to finish around 50 departments. After 3 years more, we are going to finish our first graduation and we are starting to apply for masters. So probably in 3 years more, you will see 50 departments. Philomath, after 5 years, you will be able to see around 20 to 30 additional master programs, which is going to make in total over 80 programs. We call them programs, each of them. So Philomath is the fastest growing university in Nigeria. We have students from abroad from day one. We are quite open for the students from outside. And now we are actually targeting the Ghana market, Cameroon market, the West African countries. So very soon, if you are going to talk about international universities, #1 university is going to be Philomath.
Professor Gylych, I want to say a very big thank you for making our time for this interview.
You're welcome. Thank you for you as well.
The program continues right after now. Prof will be issues in society.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. This is indeed an eye-opener for parents who struggle to send their kids abroad for education. You need not break the bank anymore. Check out Philomath University. You can get equal high standard of education even in Nigeria. This is where we draw the curtain for today. Join us again next week, same time. Should you miss any of our broadcasts, you can follow us on our social media handle. I remain Zainab Ubitin. See you next week.